Alright, what is up YouTube? I am Cosmic Fro, and today I am back with another Mortal Kombat 1 video for you guys today on the channel. This is going to be an update video talking about my most anticipated character coming to Combat Pack 2, and that is Noob Saibot, at least from the MK characters. I am really excited for Ghostface as a guest character coming to Mortal Kombat, but Noob Saibot of the MK characters is the one I'm most looking forward to. And they just dropped an update on Xbox Wire, overall just talking about how Noob is going to play in Mortal Kombat 1 and what we can expect from the gameplay. So it starts just describing Noob Saibot in, sort of his origins in the past timeline and his history in, starting in Mortal Kombat 2. But there are some interesting details. They say, Noob Saibot is, a major player of Chaos Reigns. And while usually he is sort of a mindless pawn of any kind of malevolent presence, they sort of foreshadow that may not be the case in Chaos Reigns and that he may be an important part of the story expansion. So I'm really excited to see what the story implications are for Noob coming into the Chaos Reigns DLC story expansion side of it. But overall, I really am a fan of Noob's new look, right? The blades on his fingers and the shadow. I think it's really cool so far. Now this next part I'll read word for word because it does talk about Noob Saibot's gameplay and it sort of starts to break him down. So it reads, breaking down Noob Saibot. That shadow is core to Noob Saibot's whole identity in every way. He isn't just a Gridmark Edgelord Reaper type. Almost all of his moves are influenced by whether his shadow is present or not. That shadow can be cast underfoot or be seen standing up on its own 2 feet and moving around. And it isn't just for looks, it's information. So, potentially hinting that this could be sort of a puppet sort of play style for Noob Saibot. We've already seen one puppet move in the gameplay trailer with his orb acting independently as his Chaos Ball or Ghost Ball, whatever it is. The one where he can blow it up after. We see that moving independently on its own, as it describes here. So that's interesting to see if there's going to be other moves like that, and if Noob has sort of puppet traits to him. If Noob Saibot's shadow trails under him, waving on the floor like upside down smoke, it's available for summoning, joining in to enable or amplify most of his kit. But a preoccupied shadow is an unavailable shadow. So you're probably going to have to pay attention to whether his shadow is with him or not, right? If his shadow's away from him, it has to return to him. So maybe that's sort of going to be the mechanic with Noob Saibot here. Some of Noob Saibot's moves aren't available without the shadow, and many are quite different compared to their shadow-backed versions. Using the shadow to your advantage becomes a constant dance of risk and reward. So I like to hear all of that risk and reward. Chores is some of the fun. Most fun I have when I'm playing fighting games is just being able to manage a character to the best potential I can using all of the different cameo combinations I can only imagine, right? And moving on past that, just under that, reads, most of Noob Saibot's normal attack combos feature him and his shadow weaving past each other, taking turns pummeling the target. His throw is different with the shadow, and many of the shadow-assisted special moves are safer, farther reaching, with more margins for error and better follow-up opportunities. So when you have the shadow available, your special moves are going to be better than if you didn't have the shadow with you, is sort of what they're describing here. It then goes on to read, for reasons that will become clear in the events of Chaos Reigns, Noob Saibot can use a ghastly disembodied hand in an incantation called Embrace Chaos. Now, before I move on reading this, we did see this in the trailer for Noob Saibot. It sort of supercharges him with a green sort of ghastly aura that sort of spews off of him. This is while he's fighting Scorpion in the trailer, and every single string ender we saw led to a portal, so a combo extender. And it, if you play other fighting games, this is usually what would be called an install super, where the character is just super powered, right? They are usually, it's a risk reward thing. But let's read it. Let's see what they say here. So, the ghostly energy pouring through him, this unique special move can only be used once per match. For a short, so once per match, not round, match, right? You can only use it once per match. So if you got to close out a round, or, you're making a comeback, you can use this incantation, and you only get to use it once for that entire match. For a short interval, almost any shadow attack is even more powerful, usually producing effects unique to this buff state. There is a cost though. After the spell's short-lived effects expire, he will become completely without the help of the shadow for the rest of the current round. So let's say you spend it on round 1 and you kill the opponent during the buff. You will have your shadow again in round 2, but if the buff ends in round 1, you won't have your shadow for the rest of that round. So that's sort of what it's describing here. As a Noob Saibot player, pop Embrace Chaos and it's showtime, like Johnny, right? As a Noob Saibot opponent, stay calm and watch every angle. So just sort of describing this install super that Noob has in Mortal Kombat 1. I think it's really, really interesting that they decided to give Noob, of all characters, an install super like Johnny's hype mode, right? I'm so excited to see how much more powerful he becomes, what it does aside from the string enders that we saw in the trailer. You know, we did see that he summoned a special, and the special sort of brought Scorpion straight to him. So we'll have to wait and see what it does for every single special move in the game, as I assume it's going to affect all of them. In the last paragraph, I think the only real thing to really talk about here is the sentence here. It says, thanks to the conditional nature of lots of Noob Saibot's attacks, his move list is one of the largest in the game. So that just means you're going to have a lot more creativity with this character than you would some of the other characters in this game, like say Tanya or, you know, Sub-Zero, right? He's going to have a lot more attacks to work with at his disposal. So I cannot wait, guys. I can't wait to dive into Noob Saibot. I'm curious about this clone story-wise, right? Yeah, I'm super excited overall for Chaos Reigns and all of the characters, right? We got Sector and Cyrax. Sector looks amazing too, but Noob Saibot with this article is sounding like he is going to be a menace, and I cannot wait. So if you guys did enjoy this video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you in the next one. Peace out.